Right, hi there. I'm back again with another video. I'm just about to start fitting this air intake temperature gauge. So I thought I'd bring you along and I'll start by showing you what's in the box. Right, there's the box. This is the air temperature sender. That gives you the temperature for the air going into the head off the turbo. Obviously some wire for all of that. That's the temperature gauge. Well, it's not working at the moment because I've got no electric, and all you got to do is plug 12 volts to that. It gives you a couple of clips to find your positive and negative. Right, there's the other part of the temperature gauge sender that fits in there, and this we're going to put on the inlet. Now what I've done, I've took the inlet already off the spare disco I have. So what I'll do is I'll get you to show what I'm doing. I'm now going to find a centre punch, which will mark it around about there. That'll be where I'm going to put the gauge. So what I'll do is now I'll go and get my drill and we'll drill that out. Right, got the 9mm drill there, so we'll see if we can drill this. There we go, drill the hole. That's 9mm, that is. Now, had to get a special tap for this. I'll tell you the size when I've opened it. Apparently it's a 1/8 NT MPT 27, so what I'll do is I'll start tapping this now. I'm going to put a bit of cutting compound on the work, and also we'll put some on the tap. Right, what I'll do is, when I've tapped that out, I'll come and bring you back. Right, hopefully now we've tapped that, so I'm just going to put some brake clean on there. Just don't know if how close I can get in there. Right, there you go. We've got that's been tapped out. So we're going to check it now with the nut and bolt. Now this is a tapered thread, so there you go. So what we'll do is we'll put some thread lock on that, then tighten that up properly, and that'll be the sender unit done. Right, this is the piece I'm going to put on next. Come on, focus. There you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give those threads a clean, just in case there's any degreasant on there. I've got some thread locker, which is quite a good one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in there. So we'll get some brake clean, squirt some of that on it. Like I said, all that's for is just to clean the threads. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some of this on, get the spanner to fit that, and I'll bring you back when I've done that. As you can see, I've put some of the gunk on. So what we're going to do now, we're going to screw that in there. Like I said, this is a taper thread as well, so it tightens itself up as it further goes in. And I've also got the gunk on there, so that won't come off again now. He says hopefully. And that's it, that's now quite tight. It's only aluminium, so I'll leave it at that. Right, So that's that piece in. What I'm going to do now is get the jet wash out, put some solvent in there, because there's going to be aluminium all in this planning chamber, and I don't particularly want that going into my engine. So I'll get the jet wash on that. I won't bore you with jet wash in it, and I shall just quickly show you. You've got a little collet here which fits in between, and all that does then is your temperature sender goes in there. That will be nicely, if you look, there's the inlet, that'll be nicely in the way of the air going into the planning chamber, so that should be hopefully telling me the temperature. Right then, it's a bit dark outside, as you could probably see outside. This is just a quick job I could do with this, so what I'll do is tomorrow I'll get outside, get off the other inlet off my car, and we'll do a bit of swapping and changing, and then stick the thing in. So I'll bring you back in the morning. Right then, so we're back at the engine now. This is the one we put the nipple in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one off. So I'm going to start by taking this bit of the pipe off and taking this bit off here. Right, this one's a different one here, so right, there you go, remove that pipe. Took the Jubilee clip off there. There's another Jubilee clip down there. Just got to take that pipe off, and that'll let me get to the bolts I need to. You can see, them pipes are off. Now there's a little bracket just here. Got to take that off, and then it's just 4 bolts, and this will come off. So I'll get on with that. Right, there's the plate. With that now gone, I can get access to the rest of the bolts, take the manifold off. I believe they're 2 10mm and 2 15, and they're down there. As you can see by the other one, they go in there, and the other ones go in there. So I'll remove them, and I'll bring you back. I was wrong, the bottom bolts were 13mm, so once them 4 are done, it's just carefully remove that. There you go. So now it's just turning the process and putting this one back on. I'll have a quick look in there in a minute. I've got my little spy camera out just to make sure the valve seals are all okay in there. Give it a clean on the gasket, and then I shall chuck it all back together. So I'll bring you back when I put that back on and have a quick check. Alright, there you go, everything's back together, all the pipes are on. So all I've got to do now is run the lead through the bulkhead, and I'll bring you back then when I've done it. Just an updating on some progress I've got today. I've just temporarily stuck the temperature gauge just there. I'm going to get an enclosure and fit all my switches and all these dials in one go. So what I've done is I have drilled, don't know if you can see down there, 4 holes in there, just Right, there you go. I've just drilled 4 holes down there. I'm going to be fitting these rubber grommets for future holes and putting wires through the engine bay. So we're putting it all back together, and I'll stick the sensor through in a little while. When the paint's dried, of course, which I'm using the hairdryer, well, stripper, to do it there. So I'll bring you back in a bit. Right guys, there you go. That's all installed now. I'm just going to stick a bit of thread lock on this. I just don't want it coming undone. Just needs a little touch on there just to keep it all together. Right. Yeah, just a little bit of thread lock. And we'll just nip that up, and that should complete the install. So, all back together, all done. I'll bring you in the car when I turn it on. There you go. Install's complete. As I said, temporary place for that. So, apparently it's reading 10.9 degrees, which is about right. So what I'm going to do is I shall do a few tests on the car, and what I'll do is when I put the other item I got, which is the larger intercooler, I'll have a baseline of what the original intercooler can do, so I can see if there's any performance advantage or temperature advantage on the actual intake side. Right, just like to say thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next vid.